Good evening.
Good evening.
What's so funny, Claire?
You were running like
I was running like
Levi does. So welcome to Tasty Tuesday
with
Claire.
and Dave.
We're all screwed up because we were gone over the weekend.
We were gone camping at Life Fest last week, and it was awesome.
So we have a challenge for you all.
Speaking of camping,
Yes. So we all need new recipes for camping. We're kind of sick of doing tacos and hamburgers and barbecue. So we thought it would be really fun to ask you all what your favorite camping or outdoor recipes are.
something a little bit out of the box.
And don't just post the name of it, but post the recipe with it. And that we're going to do a drawing, well, not even a drawing. Our family on Sunday when we're together are going to pick a winner.
Yeah, we're camping next weekend up at Lake Petenwell, or next week, I should say. And so Tasty Tuesday will be on location that night. And with your submitted recipes, we are going to
Pick one, and we are going to make it live for you all with some of our helpers. And whoever name we pick and recipe are going to get a $25 Pampered Chef gift certificate from us. So be posting those.
Does that mean I have to make a drink too?
Oh, yeah, of course you do.
It'll probably be like bourbon on the rocks or something
Or
like that.
barely iced tea.
Oh, that could be too.
That would be a good one.
Yeah.
So tonight we are going to make chicken enchilada ring.
And we are going to make a rock lobster cocktail.
You know, I think one of the hard things is to come up with recipes, but you know what the second hardest thing is?
Tell me.
What to wear. What to wear. So, here we go.
Here we go.
All right, so I'm going to get started with this and say hello to us, talk to us. We may or may not be able to see who's with us right now.
Lori Depth is there.
Hey, Lori. All right, so we're going to start out with chicken. Now, because we just got back, I pulled some things out of the freezer. So this is from my large bag of chicken breasts. This is how we used to do chicken in the early days of Pampered Chef, and you take a batter bowl and you poach it. So I just took some chicken breasts, I made them in half, put them in here into our closing cut, and then I cut across and made them thinner, more thin.
Okay, either one.
Well, okay,
Fine with me.
whatever. And then I put some water in here, put it into the microwave, and just cooked it for about 6 minutes. So you poach it, and it's done. But you could roast this, you could do it in your air fryer, do it in the oven, however you want, on your grill pan. I would just made it super easy. So this works for this, and we're gonna cut it up with our salad chopper.
We are going to cut it with a chopper.
Yes, so I'm gonna do like 2 times, and Dave can do the rest. I just want you to see how easy it is to do this. So if you want like chicken strips, just go one cut, but otherwise just keep cutting it all up. All right, so we have our chicken going. Then we want to take our green chilies. So we're just taking a can of those, and it's a small can. This also calls for olives, but if you remember, one of us is not a big olive fan, so we're just going to skip those tonight. I already pointed you out. Okay, so no touching the can. So I'm going to start throwing these things into our large, or actually medium-sized stainless steel bowl. So we're just going to put that in here. I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can make this recipe. And of course, I've changed it along the years. So I'm going to put in about a tablespoon of the Southwest seasoning. I also put some seasoning onto the chicken. We're going to take a lime, and we're going to use about half of it. And we're going to put it into our press and just press out the juice. So just like so. And we want to reserve the other for garnishing. All right, and we're going to take some tomatoes. We're going to cut off the ends And I showed you guys how to do this last week or the week before, but we're just going to take off those ends. This recipe used to call for more of a garnish with the tomatoes, but I really like putting them inside. I don't really like cooked sliced tomatoes. That's just me. So once again, you just squeeze and scrape and you get most of that out of here. And you want to do this because we're going to be using a crescent roll base, and we just don't want it to get super soggy. There's nothing worse than soggy bread. Agree?
Agree.
Agree. Okay. So one more, just like so. Then I'm going to just take my slice. We're going to slice these up. I'm going to show them what those look like.
It's all finely chopped into nice little fine chickeny stuff.
Well done.
Thank you. I had a good teacher.
So we're just going to chop these, square them off, and put them in. And once again. So I'm going to show you how to make this into a ring, but it makes a really good dip also. And so we might be taking some of this along with us on our trip. So you can't submit this recipe, okay? So I'm just putting these all into my bowl. And these will cook up really nice with this. All right. So what are some other things that we need? We need some calls for mayo. And if that's what you want to put in there, then by all means, go ahead. But we're not going to do that. I'm going to use some sour cream. I find that I really, really love the sour cream in this. It gives it more of that Mexican feel. In a lot of my rings, I do put the mayo, but not this one. So I'm just going to put this in, like so. There we go. And if you wanted to, you could have done your tomatoes in your manual food processor. We just didn't. So we're going to add the chicken into this too. So we have our seasoning, our jalapenos, sour cream. We're going to put our chicken in. Don't you all wish that you had a sous chef in your kitchen? I'm so fortunate. I'm so lucky. All right, then we're gonna grate up some cheese. And we just need a cup of cheese, 4 ounces. So I've grated up most of it, but I just always love to show this because I love our cheese grater. This one is gonna be more coarse, and then our other one is more fine. So we're just throwing a cup of cheese in, like so. So we have in here chicken, I can't even see. Chicken, cheese, chilies, sour cream, seasoning, tomatoes, lime juice, and that's where we're gonna stop for right now. So we're gonna mix this up, and I'm gonna have you just keep mixing. And I'm gonna get the next part of this ready. So this is kind of a fun thing to do, and to give your ring some texture, and that is just to take some chips. So you want to take some tortilla chips, and you're gonna, I just put them into one of our silicone bowls, and take our tenderizer, and just smash them up. Smash them up good. Those in your manual food processor too. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a cutting board, and I'm going to put this out, and I'm going to spread all of my chips out on here, okay? Like so. I'm going to put those out, and then I'm going to get my crescent rolls. You know, crescent rolls have to stay in the refrigerator until the exact moment that you're going to use them. Otherwise, we do have issues. So, taking these and we're going to give it a whack. Oh, I didn't do very well. We always say if you can open crescent rolls, you can do pampered chop. I'm not doing very well at that. All right, so there we go. And we're going to unroll these, and then we're going to pat them onto the chips. And like I said, that's going to give them that texture, like so. Okay, so if we were doing the double or the regular recipe, we would do 2 of the crescent rolls.
2 rolls of crescent.
2 rolls of crescent rolls. We're just not going to do that. We just don't need that much food around. Then I'm going to take my pizza cutter and I'm going to cut. Would you mind putting some more of the chips in here, please? Okay, so we made the amount of the insides, the filling, because part of that can be a dip. So if you want, you can take our glass container, you can take one of our freezer containers, fill that up, or even one of our small stoneware bowls. And what we're going to do is, because I'm going to store this, we're going to do about half of this. And we're just going to fill this up. And we're going to keep this. So this will keep amazing for a few days. And all you want to do is heat that up and serve it with the tortilla chips. Really, really good. Really good. But for the rest of this, we're going to take the chips and we're going to crunch them up and we're going to put them inside. And once again, it just gives it a little bit more texture. All right, so we could do this a couple different ways. We're going to actually use a small stone. This is the small one. Otherwise, I would absolutely do this onto our chip and dip. And it makes such a pretty ring and gives you a guide and gives you a place to put your filling or extra filling that I'm going to show you how to do. Right? And you put it into the oven. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to take these. Do you mind finding a scoop, please? Can you see those chips, how they're pressed on the outside? I think it's over here. And we're just going to go around kind of like a starfish. And so halfway is 4. So you can kind of gauge where you're at. Okay, that's fine.
Fine.
Always fine. And I am just continuing to go around in my circle. When you have 2, sometimes you feel like you're ending up with way too much. If you want to do 3 rolls on something large like this or the large stone, you can do 2, and then you can do 1 in the middle. It's like a double rainbow. Alrighty, so we've got this together, and I'm just going to give us a little bit more area. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to scoop this on. We're actually going to, you're not going to be around till it's done because it does bake about 25 minutes. This does not fit into the air fryer, but you could do something smaller than that and put it in the air fryer. All right, this smells so good. Okay, so you can see we're just putting mounds on here. Good choice, Dave. And the large scoop seems to be working awesome. 1 in each. And then just to make it extra pretty, I'll show you how to put everything together. I don't think you can overfill putting this in.
Not enough?
I'll just, unless you want to eat that. There you go. So all you're going to do is take these and you're going to take one and twist, go to one side, one and twist and go to the other. And that's all I'm doing is twisting and then twist and crisscross. And it looks so fancy and it's really just so easy. Tell me, if you ever make rings, which one do you make? Do you make the chicken club brunch ring? Do you make the taco ring? The beautiful thing about rings is you can take leftovers, throw them in here, and they just look oh so pretty. So I'm gonna pop this into the oven for about 25 minutes. And Dave is gonna share his drink with us, and then we'll come back and I'll show you some other tricks to go with this.
I missed you.
Are you ready?
I am ready, I think.
Okay.
Got her? Hi. Tonight we're going to put together a rock lobster cocktail. And just to let you know, there's like 3 or 4 different versions of this. I'm going to make the blended tropical one tonight. You can also do, well, I'll tell you about the other ones after I'm done. 2 cups of ice. I'm going to use the blender because this is going to be a blended drink tonight. To that, and now every measurement I give you is actually double because I always make 2 of them. I'm going to start with coconut rum. I've got some Randiaz here. We're going to use that. Each serving calls for 1.5 ounces, so we're going to put 3 ounces of coconut rum in here. It also utilizes a banana liqueur. I don't have any banana liqueur, but I do have banana rum. So we're going to put a 3rd rum in here, because this normally calls for 2. Are you going to be okay with that, Claire? A little banana Bacardi. I'm going to put about 1.5 ounces or so of that, just to give it a little bit of banana-y kick to it. To that, I'm also going to add 1 ounce of grenadine to give it that little pink color, a little fruitiness to it. And then we are also going to add some pineapple juice. I'm going to use some pineapple wedges for garnishing, so I'm just going to use a little bit of the juice in here from that. Also, a little dab of Nature's Touch from your local Stop and Go store, orange juice. Just a little bit of that to give it some more fruit. So now I've got banana, I've got cherry-ish, I've got some orange juice in there. I'm also going to add to that the banana. Calls for 1/2 of a banana per serving, so I'm going to rifle this whole thing in there. Slice it up a little bit so it's got some. There we go. All right, now I'm going to blend this all together, and then I'm going to do some floating. I don't know if you remember floating from last time or from a time before. So give me a little minute here to put this together. Claire, you want to talk?
Sure.
Over the blender.
Okay, so I just decided that I was going to show you a little bit with our chip and dip and how fun this looks. Let me grab the chips. I didn't expect that. And I love this because you can put this in the oven, and there's nothing better than tortilla chips that have been warmed up. So you can take these and put them on here, put this into the oven, warm them up, and they'll really be like the restaurant. Like so. How many do we need? All right. And then I would just take my dip and put that in the middle And this is a great meal right here, but without the crescent rolls. Okay?
Sorry that blending tends to be a little noisy, but the results are awesome. So I've got this nice blended smoothie type of frozen drink. Doesn't this look tropical, Claire?
It does look tropical.
Alright, so I
It's
do
delicious.
that.
Looks like one of my kind of drinks that I like.
It is one of your kind of drinks. Okay,
We
then.
like eating our own food.
We do. Dark rum. You're going to do a little floating of dark rum on the top. If you remember how to float, take your bar spoon, put it right on the edge here, and I'm just going to float just about, maybe a little bit on the top, just to give it a little bit of color on the top. And you can mix this in if you'd like. And then you can lick the spoon. Okay, then I'm going to garnish it with, and you could garnish it with a banana slice if you so desire to, or I'm just going to garnish it with a pineapple wedge there. And a pineapple wedge here. And I'm also going to put some cherries on top. Let me grab a couple cherries here. Now I said there were multiple versions of this. This is a blended version. There's also one on the rocks that uses equal parts of Chambord, which is a raspberry liqueur, and can I have a little towel, please?
Yeah.
So Chambord, equal parts of that with Crown Royal whiskey, and you know what the other one was, Claire?
No.
Cranberry juice.
Oh.
So that you could put on the rocks and you could mix that up. That's another version of a rock lobster. Another one is a layered drink, which would be what is it? Oh, Irish cream and amaretto and white cream de cocoa in that order, because the densest one goes on the bottom, top, and that gives you a layered rock lobster cocktail. So here you go, rock lobster cocktail. Well, it's kind of bright, but you want to try that? See what you think. Now keep in mind, there's going to be rum on the top. You want to stir it? Do you prefer? Oh, you're going to. What do you think? Oh no.
Uh-oh. I think
That's
this,
all right.
we might have to
That
bring
for
our
pictures.
blender when we go glamping.
Oh boy.
Yummy. Really, really liked it. Very tropical, really delicious, and even with the rum
Dark rum on the top.
it's not too strong. It's really good.
Cool.
Just so you know, we have the recipes. I'll post those.
Yep.
All right. Anything else, Dave?
That's enough for
Okay.
me.
So we want to do one extra thing, and that is that we want to put our garnishes right in the middle of our ring. So we used to have a pan to do that, but I experimented today, and I took a tortilla. It was a little dry because it wasn't closed, and I put it into the microwave for about 45 seconds, and it got really, really nice and floppy. And then I went ahead and I put some oil with my brush on the inside of one of the prep bowls. This one happens to be the 2-cup prep bowl. Gosh, it looks bigger than that. The 2-cup prep bowl. And then I went ahead and took that tortilla and put it inside, and then I just put a little bit more of the oil on it. You could put some seasoning on it if you want, if people are going to eat it. Then I put it back in the microwave for just about 15 seconds and let it sit. And I have this cool little dish that I can put some things in. So I'm just going to take some sour cream, and this is so delicious when you are serving tacos, taco rings, chicken enchilada rings, and just as much as you think you're going to eat for the meal, then just add some Southwest seasoning again in there and mix this in. And this makes a great dip for chips, just on the side too. All right, so Dave does layering. Let's see how my layering works. So we're gonna go ahead and take this, and I'm gonna put my sour cream on one side. You know, we do a lot of cream before we start these parties, these shows for you guys, because you never know what's gonna happen. Okay, so we have this on one side, and then we can put on the other side some salsa. And so when that comes out, our ring comes out of the oven, we'll put this right in the middle, and that will be our little serving tool. And then we'll just have some limes that I am just going to thinly slice, and we will add those on there for some garnish. And that is it. So easy, and you can make this filling ahead of time, the night before, day before, a couple days before, and easily throw this in the oven if you are going to work or going somewhere for the day. So you'll have supper on the table in no time. And you can do this with 1, 2, or 3 packages of crescent rolls. Just go accordingly with your filling.
And I'm sure you'll post a picture of the finished product once it's all baked up before we eat it, right?
I'm sure.
Okay.
I'm sure.
All right.
All right. So once again,
Reminder
don't
for the
forget
contest. Get those recipes in.
your camping recipes. Send the recipe, post it on the Cookin' with Claire group, and put the recipe. If you have a picture, oh my goodness, that's even better, but you don't have to. Just put the recipe, what's in it, and we will pick a winner on Sunday, and we will make it on
Tasty Tuesday
at the
campground if we have a good Wi-Fi connection.
we will.
We will. Okay.
We're pretty close to, I'm sure that
A
people,
hot spot.
yeah, I'm sure people 2 down from us won't mind if we borrow the best spot
We'll be fine.
for Wi-Fi. So,
So.
thanks for joining us.
Okay, we'll see you next Tuesday from Adams County, God willing.
And thanks so much for joining us. We really appreciate it.
We do. We'll see you next time.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Have a great week.